Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Hello farmers, welcome back to Ravenport. We need to get busy right away getting these grass bales wrapped up, turned to silage, and bring it up to the barn because the price, if you remember last episode, was at $366. Well, as I picked up the wrapper, it started coming down here. The price is starting to go down, so we need to wrap up. I think we have something like 35 bales. Let's say 35, I do believe. Somewhere in that area. So the price shouldn't drop too far down. I'm going to say probably like $350 at the most before we get them there. So this process does take a while. This is one reason why I don't like wrapping. But I guess if you look at it, you know, if you have a silo and you bring it there and you compact it, then you got to wait 12 hours and you got to unload it. The process is probably all the same amount of time. And there probably are baling wrappers out there that are a little bit faster. And speaking of, as I record this today, the DLC has been announced for Farming Sim coming out later in the month, I think the 26th of March, by the Anderson Group. It's called, I think, the Anderson Group package, actually. So it's a lot to do with baling, mostly baling technology. It also has mixers for cows, so you can make your total mix rations. There's even one piece of forestry equipment as well. So, yeah, you're looking at wrappers, baled trailers, two mixing wagons. Well, I'll say it. A few different kind of wrappers that they have, wrapping systems. I think the logging or the forestry is pretty much just a grabber. So I'm pretty sure you'll see that on the Farming Simulator website. So you got about 3 weeks before that comes out. I do believe it's, we'll just round it up to $10 US. I think it's like $9.95 or something like that on the Farming Simulator website. I don't see where they say it's for consoles though. That's the only thing I'm wondering about that. It says compatible Windows and Mac. I don't see where it says anything about consoles. Now the one thing I will say, and I've always thought this about Farming Simulator. I've said this before, probably not since 19 came out, but the DLC for Farming Simulator I always kind of looked at kind of weirdly because to me sometimes it might be just a little bit overpriced. The reason being because Farming Sim relies so much on mods. There's so many good mods out there by the time DLC starts arriving. Sometimes the DLC I look at and like, why would I want that when I can get something equivalent to it, or maybe what I see as better for my gaming style. So I'm looking at that DLC. Am I going to get the DLC? I don't know. I just got whiff of it today just before I started recording a little while ago. So I don't know if it's something I will get. Baling, wrapping is not something I normally do. That's for darn sure. I'm usually one of the silo kind of guy, as you've seen in my series on the Pacific Northwest. When I really started doing Farming Sim on this channel, and of course now here on Ravenport, which we're getting pretty close to wrapping up, by the way. Which I'm not going to be sad to see Ravenport go. I had fun on this map for the most part, but we have done what we can on this map, really. No, we don't own every field, but we don't need to. It's time to move on. I'm kind of excited to go into the next map. I do have a map in mind, unless one comes up pretty shortly that changes my mind. I've only been on it for maybe like 15 minutes just driving around looking at it. I looked at it in fresh start mode, and I looked at it in what we're going to do, which is new farm. Well, excuse me, I said that backwards. I looked at it in new farmer mode, which is the easy mode, I guess you could probably say. And we're gonna go with fresh start. This is one thing I hate about square bales. Okay, so I gotta get that lined up just right. So we're gonna go on a fresh start mode, which means we're gonna start with nothing, but we're not gonna start with the $500,000. We're taking our 10% from here, whatever that might be. We'll find out in a couple days' time. I'm hoping to get maybe 2 more harvests in before we leave. So that will be when our last episode is, when we harvest the crop a second time, because this crop is going to be ready maybe this episode. The only thing we have planned for right now is to do these bales, which we're doing now. And there is no more field work. I've already taken care of all the weeds for the fields for this cycle. They're all fertilized. Now after I do the baling, I'm just waiting for the fields to turn and ready to be harvested. That's all we're really waiting for. And then it'll be another cycle of get the fields going once again. We'll have to see if any of them need to be plowed or whatever. I may not do fully plowed fields on the second harvest. But, you know, it's going to hurt us if we don't, because we'll not get the amount of crop that we could have. Which means selling the crop, not getting enough money, and which will hurt us as we leave to head to our new farm. But as for the, like I said, the DLC Anderson Group, you can see it on their webpage. It's been kind of announced, release date, all that, the pricing. I checked on Steam before I logged on, and Steam does not show where you can buy it off the Steam page just yet. But as I'm recording this, today is the 4th of March. So by the time you see this video, it probably will be on the Steam page. I don't know. But what I'm going to do now, mumble on quite a bit. I've only gotten a few bales to go. As you can see, I got quite a few more to go. Probably just almost halfway there, almost. I did see a mod, actually, for this wrapper, which is twice the speed of wrapping. And I was like, you know what? I'm only going to do this once on this map, so no rush. I might do it twice. I don't know if I'll do another wrapping. I may just do, if we mow this field one more time, I'll probably just do hay and load them up and go. Maybe. We'll have to see. I'm hoping sometime beginning of next week to start the new map. Like I said, I've had my fill of Ravenport at this point. We're over 100 episodes, which is probably too long. But what I need to do, I need to stop mumbling, focus on wrapping these bales. I'm mumbling so much I'm not preparing myself, getting in line for the next bale. We need to get these wrapped and get to the barn. Price is still at $366. That's what it was maxed at, but the price is dropping. So we need to get there, see how much money we do get. Just remember, these bales are 8,000 liters a piece, not 4. So these bales are almost worth $2,500 per. Actually, probably more than that. Probably almost 3,000 per. Anyways, let me get these wrapped up, and we got the truck already here with the auto-loading trailer, and we can get right to the barn. I do believe this is the last bale, so while it's wrapping up, I think I'll just take a drive around the field. This one bale up here is actually a hay bale, because that was what's in the baler when we started. So that was the first bale out. Just drop that one off. We'll fold up the baler, because I do believe, like I said, that's the last one. I know I got the ones all in the field for sure. So let's take a quick ride around. And I don't see any. So we'll just park up by our man truck and start loading them up. I don't think any went over the cliff. Nope, looks all good. And like I said, I got told by the owner, don't put no shed here or nothing, because he's going to build a house here. After we depart. So what do I have on here? No, we don't want pallets. Large square bales. That should be what we are looking for. So let's load them up. We're not going to get a full trailer. But we should get a good amount when we get up to the the BGA, the barn. Like I said, each one I think it's going to be worth like $3 grand. So we'll see what our total is when we get up there. We made it all the way to the other side of the map with almost a full trailer, 2 bales short. So we should get a good amount of money for this. I'm thinking pretty close to 300 grand, maybe. I do have to take it easy on the corners just because with 8,000 liters per bale, you can see the trailer gets a little top heavy making corners. I don't know if the bales, if they were 4,000 liters a piece, if they'd be as heavy and make the trailer tip as much. What you can do to avoid this, if you wanted to, is when you do the auto-loading trailer, is don't unload them onto the trailer. Just keep it in auto working mode, and the bales are not actually on the trailer itself. So I'm not getting as much as I thought here. So yeah, I was going on 100 bales, which is stupid. Yeah, so I think we got like 100 grand there. I don't know if it'll show up. Bales, sold bales right there. Yeah, like 121 grand. Not too bad. Yeah, for some reason I was multiplying it by 100. It only carries 39 bales, so that was kind of stupid of me. But then again, as we all know, I am rather stupid. So that's the bales done. We have really nothing to sell because we did it all last episode. All the fields are ready, so now it's just a matter of sitting back and watching the grass grow, literally. So I'll probably see you the following morning. And it may actually not be until the afternoon. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see until the crops are ready. Hopefully it doesn't rain. Well, the morning has arrived. It's a beautiful day. We did get some money from the biogas plant from selling off some of the slurry from the pigs and the cows. So I think that was like 50 grand. But of course we spent some money on training the horses. I had to swap out the pallets of wool down at the sheep because those pallets are full. So I got 40,000 liters of wool to sell at some point. I got this guy and a worker now. So the fields that are ready are our biogas plant field right here. We got canola in this field that's ready. I did come down here and actually fertilize the grass field just in case, you know, we want the max crop as we can get, obviously. Also, our cotton fields are just about ready. This one is a little off sync. So I'm going to come down here. We're going to harvest this cotton field while this guy is going to town here. The question is, oh, it needs lime. So I'll have to do some extra work because we're only going to do it one more time, but I also want to get it right. Meaning, because, you know, we want the most crop that we can get. The price of cotton is actually going up right now, so that's good for us as well. So whatever we harvest off the fields won't be sold until the price is going up. It's actually going up, and it's actually starting at like 2,600. Yeah, 2,658 and going up. The price of wool is, it's okay, so I'm in no rush to really do that. But we're going to harvest this field ourselves because this is an oddly shaped field. And this is going to be kind of one of the tests I want to do. I think what I'll do after I harvest this, first of all, we'll see if the field needs anything. But I will save the game, turn off autosave. I want to run over some of these cotton stalks after we harvest and see if I got the problem as we've had before in the past. The only field that we know it does it in, or has done it, is the field up on the hill. So I'll be kind of curious to see that. So it's not going to take us too long with this cotton harvester to go around. Once again, I do love this modded harvester, other than they made the header width 10 meters instead of the standard 6. but they didn't actually make the header bigger, so that's why it looks kind of weird harvesting at a wider width than what the combine is or the cotton harvester is. But we're going to do the same thing. We're going to plant cotton in all these fields down here. We don't need to be making food for the animals because we're not going to be here long enough to where we got to feed the animals again. And I'll let the next farm manager worry about having food for the animals. Yeah, because we're going to just kind of sell everything. Everything must go. But that was kind of like last episode. We got kind of lucky. It seemed that the price was right on everything. The price was high on all the crops that we had. Make sure I get this one little stalk of cotton right there. Now the canola price is okay. It's at, I think the best canola price is at $1,300. Now I don't know if that price just went down or if it's getting ready to go up. I have no idea. $1,300 is not a bad price, but as we saw last episode, it can get up to around $1,500 or even close to $1,600 for canola. So we'll kind of have to wait and see what goes on there. But as we harvest all these fields, we kind of got to see what they need. Hopefully a lot of the fields don't need lime or need to be plowed, because these are only going to be harvested one more time after this cycle. And we're out of here. Well, that's field number 1 of the cotton done. Not too bad. 14,000 liters off this small field. And if we can get like $3,000 per, you're looking at $4,200. Yeah, $42,000 worth of cotton. Now, before I start doing, actually, you know what? We will start this field. I'll get this little weird section here, and then we'll set them off on a worker, and we're going to head back up, grab our man truck, and I'm pretty sure our harvester is probably going to be getting pretty close to being full. So we'll go help him out as soon as we can. Question is, doing all these fields, I'm not even sure I'll even get a full cotton bale out of this thing. But this machine does hold 100,000 liters per bale. Cotton is a good thing to get into, but it's hard to start a farm just by doing cotton, because the only thing this thing can do is harvest cotton. So unless you're going to go pure cotton right away, yeah, it's going to be kind of hard to do so. So let's head up here. We'll grab our man truck, drop off our all-loading trailer that we I conveniently parked right there after we got rid of the silage bales. I should have plenty of time because I haven't gotten no messages that our combine is even 80% full, which kind of sucks, but let's go see where he is at this point. So I'll have to wait for him to get to the other side. While we're waiting, so the cotton field we just did is all set. This cotton field needs lime. No surprise there at this point, is there? Looks like we're going to be doing lime before we can harvest, or excuse me, reseed some of the fields. But before I reseed some of the fields, I am going to use some of the digestate as well. So it's not just a matter of harvest and replant right away. We do want to make sure these fields for the last harvest are 100% like they always are. I'm trying to see how full our combine is, but he's not, I don't think he's that full. I mean, does he even have 30,000 liters in there? think that, I was going to say maybe the header needs to be repaired, but yeah, he's doing pretty good at 12 miles an hour, it looks like. Maybe the header got caught on the ground a little bit, as it sometimes still does. Alright, so now we're just collecting what he's harvesting, so he's good for a while. So we'll just park right here. So what I'll do next is, what tractor... We'll grab this guy. We'll grab the case tractor here. He's still got the weeder on. I kind of left him here since he did the weeding a couple days ago. And the farm's going to get kind of messy because I'm not going to be putting some of this stuff away. Lower that down. We'll get our lime spreader ready. We're going to do this field first, actually. That was a terrible backing up job, wasn't it? Holy smokes. The question I have, though, is... where is my seed drill? Oh, I bet you it's over... Is it still parked over here with the Fendt tractor? Yes, it is. Alright, put him on a hired worker. I think he'll be fine. Now, he almost is going to use that entire thing, but he'll be all good. So it doesn't need to be plowed or anything. Now, the question is what do I plant? What do I want to plant? I think for funsies to save us some time, maybe we'll just go soybeans everywhere. That's what I could do, is just go soybeans everywhere. That way the harvester can go from like field to field. That way I don't have to empty it going from field to field, if you know what I'm saying. So if I got crop left in there, I don't have to unload into a truck. It's a low yielding thing. It's a low yielding crop, so also be less trips to the store, but if the price is good, it doesn't really matter. So I think that's what I'm going to do to kind of make it easy on ourselves. Or easy on me. Either way you want to look at it. So instead of just getting this guy working right away, I am going to give everyone a little bit of leeway. So put him there. And we'll get our truck off the field. So when he comes along, he shouldn't catch up to the harvester. The width of the harvester and that spreader right there is probably pretty close to the same, and they're both moving at 16 miles an hour, so I'm not too worried about him catching up to the harvester. Once he gets like maybe halfway through the field, I'll get the Fendt tractor moving along and he'll start seeding as well. But now it's time to head back on down to our cotton harvester. He should be pretty close to being done with that field for how fast he moves. He's about halfway along. We have made our way over to the chicken farm with the cotton harvester. Up to 47,000 liters in here. And these are small fields, so yeah, I don't believe we're going to get up to 100,000 liters. But we'll get something. I'm hoping to get up to 60,000 liters in this thing by the time we're all done. I do have to wait for that field over there to continue to get to the next harvest stage or next growth stage because reasons. Didn't want to grow completely along with all of its other friends around here. I do have the Fent seeding up by the BGA as well now. So we're harvesting, liming, and seeding right now in that field. I will go around later with the slurry spreader and spread some digestate on some of these fields to get the second stage of fertilization. The less we buy for fertilizer and weed killer and all that stuff just means more money for us. And once that harvester gets done, I do have to check to see if I got any more sunflowers fields left. I can't remember if I do or don't now. That might be the last time we use that header. Now I'm not actually selling anything. The only thing I may sell is the cotton baling trailer that we bought a long time ago, but now with the auto-loading flatbed, you don't really need that. We don't really need that trailer. The one that's sitting in the shed over at the cotton field where this thing usually parks. I don't think we've actually ever used it yet. I think we may have used it once. I don't really remember now. Maybe use it once. I don't know. And that's about it. Because usually what we do is we just unload straight from this thing, because this thing holds more than enough than what we usually harvest. But once that combine gets done up doing the sunflowers, I'm going to send him on over to field 45. And he can start harvesting that canola. Now that field 45, when I get done seeding it, I'm actually going to just spread more fertilizer down on it. That's a lot of trips back and forth with digestate, so it'd be just easier, I think, to do that, because I got plenty of fertilizer in that spreader, actually. Well, I put the cotton harvester on a worker on the field up behind the chickens, because our harvester up here is done. So we'll get him unloaded. This is going to go right into our stock because the sunflower prices are not that great. We'll drop off the header, pick up our other header, and send him off over to the field over there for canola. And he can start harvesting that. There we go. Make sure we stay out of our worker's way here so he does finish the field. I will fold up the combine while I drive around. So I'm going to drop off this header. Our Fendt tractor is getting along nicely. I do want to get him down to the cotton fields and we can test out. Yeah, I'll seed that field of cotton once again, but if I do it, we could have some problems. So we'll figure it out later on in a little while. But first things first, I want to get this guy up and going. So I need to get him down to field 45 ASAP. Well, the case tractor has finished his job just as he ran out of lime. Didn't quite finish the field, but as far as I'm concerned, close enough. Our other combine is now harvesting the field up here. Our cotton harvester looks like he's done over here-ish. Looks like he may have missed a spot down here in the corner. I wonder why I missed some parts of these fields, but nothing that we can't clean up. So we might actually get up to 70,000 liters once the other field is ready. I don't know why I missed this whole section over here, but we can definitely take care of that in a hurry. Our horses, one set of horses, will be ready tomorrow for sale. And yes, we will buy some more horses. As I dig the header into the ground because I didn't raise it up. As long as we go one more... When you buy the horses, as long as you go one more day and you got the horse helper mod, because you buy them for 5,000 a piece, so if you go one more day, then they'll be worth 7, so you will make some money on the horses. I mean, we're we're not closing down the farm, but so we got to kind of treat it like someone else is taking over. So this guy's getting along just fine. This guy's doing what he needs to do. I'm just waiting for the Fendt tractor because we're going to bring the Fendt tractor down here and start seeding this cotton field. And I'm going to save the game, turn off autosave, and start seeding this field myself and see if I get the same problem I have before in this field here. I'm hoping that problem is solved because I need to spread lime in this field. Good thing about these fields here, I just need to reseed them as well. So yeah, we're just waiting on the Fendt tractor. What did I put in this field here? Soybeans. Soybeans. We're going to have a lot of soybeans. So yeah, probably the soybeans, what are the prices of soybeans now? Well, by the time they're ready, this price might be good enough to sell. As you saw, sunflowers, I put that in stock because the price is not really that good. And there's the restaurant price for canola. Not a bad price, but I think we'll hold out. And the cotton price, of course, is slowly going up. So right now I'm just waiting for this field to finish. It'll be a while for this to be ready to turn over so we can harvest it in full. And so yeah, right now I'm just waiting for the Fendt tractor to free up. I am going to bring the case tractor down while I'm waiting to spread lime in this field. So I'll bring you back in a little while when we get the Fendt tractor and we'll see if I run into any issues down here. So while we're waiting for the Fendt tractor to finish seeding up by the BGA, I figured, well, we'll grab the Massey Ferguson. We'll go around and we'll clean up the animals. So they're good to go for a few more days. And I did just get the notice that our combine harvester is 80% full of canola in field 45. So I head over there and help him out so he can continue on his working day. And by then I would assume the Fendt tractor should be just about done. Pigs certainly are messy. Now in the next map, I'm not sure what we'll be doing for animals. We did them all on this map because, you know, it's 19. I wanted to see what the animals all were like. Funny thing is, I was watching one of Daggerwin's videos the other day, and I guess he got told by a lot of his viewers don't do pigs because it's not worth it. I mean, if you're comparing it to horses, no, they're not worth like horses are, but I mean, you're seeing what I'm doing every... we can kind of check this out here. If I go into our page here, where are the animals? Animals. Sold milk. Where's the animals here? Animal upkeep. Sold animals. So yeah, we sold some on Friday. 800,000 for horses, 100,000 for pigs. 2 days later, $100,000 for pigs. And how far off are we on pigs? So not today, but tomorrow I'll sell another $100,000 worth of pigs. Yes, they do require a good amount of food, but it does last a while. Do you really need to do sugar beet / potatoes? It's only 5%, so I would say you don't have to if you don't want to. Your production will be down just a little bit. So, I mean, like every 2 days, they're giving me $100,000. So, I mean, is it worth it? I mean, I think they are. If you're going to be somewhere for long term. And I think the combine is going up the field, so he's on the wrong side. And actually, he's full. And how is our Fendt tractor doing? Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go down and take care of this little situation here, unload the harvester, and I'll bring it back when the Fendt tractor is done and we're down the cotton field, and we're just going to see if I can seed that field without having any issues as I had before with cotton. Alright, we got the Fendt tractor. We're down here at one of the cotton fields that need to be seeded. Autosave is turned off. We'll lower that down. I am destroying the crop. we'll turn on the seed drill. And I'll make a lap here and see if I'm seeding the entire field. If so, fantastic. It looks like I am, and I'm not paying attention where I'm going. I started to fertilize up by the BGA, meaning a second stage of fertilization. Alright, I'm going to get out and take a quick look here. Nope, I'm having the same problem. So you can see some of the stalks sticking up in the field. So if we go to this page here, it will fertilize. But you can see, that's as much as I can zoom in. You can see where it's growing. I'm not seeding the entire field. So what I can probably do is, I'm looking at turned off crop destruction, not crop destruction, but autosave. Autosave is turned off right now. What I'll probably do is reload the game and turn off crop destruction and then seed the field. So it's not just that field across the way. It's funny, it didn't happen up at the BGA, so I'm not quite sure what's causing this. I don't know. Maybe it's one of my mods causing it. I can't say what it is. But obviously, I'm not going to continue seeding the field the way it is because we'll lose a lot of crop that way. That's the way we're going to end the episode, though, because I got to reload the game. Yeah, I'll turn this off. I'll turn crop destruction off. I don't even remember the crop destruction right here. I'll turn it off so when I run over it, I shouldn't have that problem. But meanwhile, up here, as you can see, I've started to do some fertilization with some of the digestate, and our harvester up here is getting along just fine. But that's where we're going to leave it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. I appreciate you watching as always, and I'll catch you next time on Ravenport. But until then, have a good one.